Hello everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome back to Arkham Horror, the Dunwich Horror, turn 10. Where is everybody? Well, our first player is Agnes, and she's here in the Dreamlands. She's coming out this turn. After her, it is the lovely Daisy Walker. She's in the train station. Then we have Monterey Jack, who's down here. He's in the first part of another dimension. And then we have good old Will Yorick. He's here in the Black Cave. Okay, quite a bit to do this turn, so let's crack on with the Upkeep Phase. And here we are with Agnes. Okay, Agnes is going to be coming out at Wizard's Hill. She's going to need all 6 of her law because she's going to try and shut the gate. She doesn't have to deal with the zombie. She doesn't have to deal with the Dark Young this turn. So we'll pretty much keep her as she is for now. Hopefully we'll be able to do something about those monsters some other way. Well, at least the Dark Young another way. But as it stands, we'll keep her as she is, and she will try and shut that gate this turn. Okay, next up, Daisy Walker. And here we are with Daisy. Just got to refresh alchemical process, at least for a second, because first thing she's going to do is she is going to try and cast it again. So she gets 5 dice. 5 dice. Go on, Daisy. Oh, and she doesn't manage it this turn. Nightmare. So we don't get an extra $3. So that's a bit unfortunate. It still gets exhausted though, but she doesn't lose any sanity or anything because of her special abilities. But it is a bit unfortunate that we couldn't cast it. The other thing we're going to do is we're just going to swap out the Sword of Glory for the time being. And we are going to use the powder of Ibn Ghazi. Why? Well, it's quite simple. We are going to try and kill ourselves a Gug. It's just getting in the way, man. Unfortunately, my plan from last turn, which was to shut the Wizard's Hill gate, which would get rid of it because it's a slash monster, just means we haven't got time to do what I wanted to do, which was to have a bit of a trade in the general store. We need some physical weapons, and we cannot wait till next turn. And because she got the allies of Thomas F. Malone and Tom Mountain Murphy, she has extra fights. She has 3 extra fights, in fact. So with that 3 extra fight, it means we can use one of her focus to put her to 0 fight, but 5 will, because we want to pass the will check against the Gug. Hopefully we'll roll a lot better than we just did then. So she will have +9 here for the powder, 3 here, which is 12. You lose 2, so we'll get 10 dice to get 3 actual successes. And she's got quite a few clues. Hopefully we'll get another clue, because at the end of her movement she can cast Vision Quest and get that clue from the graveyard. She's got more than enough to get to Rivertown streets, and we won't be using Gatome this turn. She's got +1 fight here as well, which I forgot about, so we can add that on. So we will get an extra die for that. So hopefully we will have the wherewithal to get rid of that Gug. And then later, when William moves, hopefully Gug's disappeared, means William can move into the Rivertown streets, they can trade, he can get all the cash and go into the general store with it, and hopefully get ourselves a decent weapon. Okay, right, so that's it for Daisy. I think there's nothing else to do. No, let's move across to Monterey Jack. And here's Monterey. He's just moving to the second part of another dimension. So I think we can pretty much keep him where he is. The only problem with him is this bank loan. We could do with him actually saving a couple of these rolls because he's running out of money fast. Whoa, at last he doesn't have to pay $1. That helps us out for another turn. Good stuff. So he's done that roll. He'll be going into the second part of another dimension. I don't think we have to change anything. We'll keep his fight still at 5 because that's what we'll be closing the gate with. I think he'll be able to kill the maniac coming out, so that won't be a problem. He will definitely shut the gate because he's got an elder sign. So that's pretty cool. Okie doke, that's it for Monterey. Let's move on to William. And here's William. One thing to do is, obviously we exhausted Skullcrackers last turn, Monterey did. So we can refresh that. So this will be back up and available. There it is. And they can both use that this turn should they need to. Okay, so William, hopefully, if things go well with the Gug, he's just going to the general store. So no need to change anything. From the general store, he's eventually going to try and get down to the South Church and get himself blessed. He'll also try and trade Greater Banishment. I think he may as well keep Law Monster because Daisy's already got Law Monster. But he may give her the Dark Cloak and stuff like that as well, and the Silver Key. Perhaps even the Holy Water. I don't know, we'll have a think about that when the time comes. But hopefully he will be able to move just straight into the general store after trading with Daisy in Rivertown. And then he can have a go at getting a decent common item weapon. Okie dokie. That's the end of the upkeep phase. Let's move into the movement phase. And our first player is Agnes. And she's moving all the way back to Wizard's Hill. So there she is. That's Agnes's movement. Next is Daisy Walker. And here's Daisy. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3 and meet up with our friend the Gug. Let's zoom in. And here we are with Daisy and the Gug. Let's have a look at the Gug. He's overwhelming 1. So we're going to lose a stamina. And we need a -1. A -1 on the will check. Now her will is 5. So she's got 4 dice. Oh, hang on. She's just got... What we'll do first is she's just got to the end of a movement. We can choose when we do stuff. So she will actually do Vision Quest first. We'll try and get this clue out of the graveyard. So let's have a look. Cast an exhaust after ending your movement. Take all the clue tokens that are on the board in your current neighbourhood. So casting modifier is 0. Sanity cost will be 0 because of her Iron Will ability. So we've got 5 dice. Let's see. Hopefully she'll do better than she did with Alchemical Process. And she gets the 1 success that we needed, which is good. So she casts that and she gets the clue from the graveyard. We may use that. She's got +1 fight skill, so that'd give her 2 die on any reroll, which may come in useful. Right, now she can do the horror check. So she's got a will of 5, -1. That's going to be 4 dice. Come on, Daisy. Oh, 4 dice. Yep. 3 successes. That's what we wanted. Woohoo! Thought I'd only rolled 3 dice then for a second. So we've passed that. And now we come to the all-important combat check. See, we lose 4 stamina if we don't manage this. Fortunately, she's got 5. So, what's she got? She's got 3 dice from her allies. She's got +1 from a skill, which is 4. She's got the powder of Ibn Ghazi, which is 9. So that's 13 dice. -2, we've got 11 dice. So let's roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Come on, Daisy. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I only rolled 10 in. Oh, this is the only problem with rolling so many dice. Try to make sure that one doesn't fall out. Did they all go in? They did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Cool. As you can see, we've got 4 successes. That is more than enough. The Gug has gone. That's a nice trophy for Daisy. Gets him as a trophy. She does lose 1 stamina because the Gug was overwhelming. So she's down to 4. But she's managed to kill it, and that is excellent. We've got to discard the powder of Ibn Ghazi, but I think it was well worth using. It is a nasty monster, that Gug. She's still got the Sword of Glory, so that's pretty cool. Is there anything else? No, she gets to keep all the clues and everything, so that's pretty good. We didn't have to use those. And in fact, she'll put the Sword of Glory back in her hand. Cool. Right, there we go. Well done, Daisy. Next up is Monterey Jack. And here's Monterey. All he's going to do is pop across to the next part of another dimension. And finally, we have William. And here's William. So he's going to move to the Rivertown streets, and we're going to have a bit of a trade going on. So Daisy is going to give him, she's going to give him the lot. So she's going to give him her $8. That's pretty good. Put that on his tray. Coolness. He, in return, is going to give her greater banishment. So hopefully she'll be able to use that at some point. Is it? Yeah, it's an upkeep phase spell. So next upkeep, she'll hopefully be able to get rid of the Dark Young and the Goat Spawn by casting that spell and specifying hexagon monsters. So that'll help Agnes out, hopefully. Is there anything else we're going to trade? I don't think he's going to bother trading the Dark Cloak or anything like that to her. I don't think it's important. She's quite, with her allies and everything now, she's quite a hard ass. So he's just going to go straight in to the general store, and that's going to be the finish of his movement. Next up, the Arkham encounter phase. And here she is, Agnes. She's going to try and shut this Dreamlands gate at Wizard's Hill. Now, it's +1 gate. She's going to use law, which is 6. So she's going to get 7 dice to get 2 successes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she gets 3 successes. She closes a gate. That's fabulous. Now, we would have lost. The Gug would have gone, but we needed it out of the way for tempo reasons. Is there any other slash monsters? I don't think there is. Unfortunately not. But what she's managed to do is she has managed to close it, which is great stuff. Okay, so well done. We're down to 4 gates, which is excellent. Well done, Agnes. Okay, next up in Arkham will be Daisy Walker. Only a brief visit to Daisy. She's in a street location, so she will not have an encounter. And next up in Arkham is William. Here's William, and obviously he's going to have a look at the common item deck. So we could do with something particularly funky. Funkiness. A Molotov cocktail, $3. +6 to combat checks, discard after use. Got to discard it though, haven't you? Brass knuckles, +1 to combat checks. Well, that's not much cop. And the cross. Magical weapon, +0 to combat checks, +3 if opponent is undead, +1 to horror checks. Well, they're all $3 and they're all pretty meh. What he's going to do is he's going to buy the Molotov cocktail. I know it's only a one shot, but you know, +1 to combat checks on the brass knuckles isn't much. The cross has already got one, so we'll get this. It might come in, even if we hold off and Yog awakens, at least at the start of the battle, we might be able to get something pretty good on him. So we'll take the Molotov cocktail, so that's $3. He's down to 6 now, and that's unfortunate, but he may stay another turn and try and get something a little bit better. So let's discard those, we're not having those. Right, that's it for William, and that's it for the Arkham encounter phase. Let's go and visit Monty in the Otherworld encounter phase. And here's Monty. Now, another dimension, has any colour, so it's just going to be the top card, whatever. We've got a green, we've got Dreamlands, plateau of length, so we're going to end up with other. You come across a slaughtered creature, pass a luck -1 check. Yes, a luck check, because I bumped his luck right up. His luck's at 5. Yep, 5, so he's going to get 4 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Monty. And he gets a 6, he passes. Woohoo! To claim a monster trophy from the cup, even if it is endless, and gain 2 clue tokens. Brilliant. Let's get the clue tokens first. So there we go. And he gets a monster trophy, which will help him. He's only got 1 at the moment, but this will help him towards his personal story of getting 3. Come on, be something really nasty and horrible that we get for free. What do we get? Ooh, a werewolf. They're not too bad. 2 toughness, elusive, physically immune. Yeah, we'll take this one. Right, so he's got 2 monster trophies now. Brilliant. Right, we can get rid of that. Get rid of the deck. Right, and that's it for the Otherworld encounter phase. Let's get ready for the laugh and chuckle phase. Okay, welcome back to Arkham and Dunwich. So let's get the card of Doom. Let's see what we get. Oh, we've got a Gate of the Woods, but we haven't got a Gate of the Woods. We've got a Surge, so we're going to get a load of monsters. Right, how many gates? 4, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4 gates, 4 investigators. So we're going to get 4 monsters out of the bag. Right. First up, and this will go to the woods, it's a cultist. That's alright. Now, where we've got 1 monster at the Unvisited Isle and 2 at Agnes Place, and none at Devil's Hop Yard. So this one's going to Devil's Hop Yard, the next one. And that is a ghoul. Well, ghoul goes up here. Got another 2 monsters to pull. So Visited Isle and Devil's Hop Yard have both got 1 each. 3, 2 up at Gardener's Place. So the next 2 are going to go between these 2. So Unvisited Isle first. Ooh, a buyer key. Goes in there. And Devil's Hop Yard gets, oh, a Hound of Tinderloss. Not good. Square monster. Right, let me set those up. Won't be a second. Right, there we go. We've got no monster markers left for Arkham, so we're at our limit. And how many monsters we've got in Dunwich? It's horrendous up in Dunwich. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Dunwich, and we've got 7 in Arkham. So at least we're spreading them out. Oh, and we're going to have some monster movement as well. Clue appears at the Historical Society. Ooh, 3 clues at the Historical Society. Might need to get somebody down there, sharpish. Looks like a job for good old Daisy. 2, 3, yeah, she can get there. Pick them up normally, actually. Right, so we've got Crescent Moon movement. So that is a cultist. Now, normal monsters move like stalker monsters because of deathly still. So what we've got to bear in mind is if they can get directly to an investigator with 1 move, they will move towards them. It's not the case here. That goes to Uptown. The aquatic monster, it's not in an aquatic location, so it'll move as a black bordered monster. Again, there's no investigator, so it'll just move as normal. So that moves to Uptown. The Wraith has a fly around Uptown. There's no investigators. There's plenty of monsters, but no investigators, so that goes to the sky, along with the Shan. So the Shan and the Wraith are in the sky. The Maniac moves out onto the Merchant District streets. Again, even though Daisy's here, it can only move 1, so it just moves to Merchant District. If it had been in the Merchant District streets to begin with, just to explain how a stalker movement would work, and say it was move on white, like it is there, it wouldn't go to north side. Normally it would, but with Deathly Still in place, and it being a stalker monster, it was one of the few occasions where you use one of these little cross lines that don't have a black or white marker. It would have gone like that, because it's a stalker monster. But it was in the Unvisited Isle, so it moves to Merchant District. Any other Crescent monsters? Not in Arkham. We've got a Crescent monster in Wizard's Hill, but that's not going to move because Agnes is there, so it will stay put. We've got a Crescent cultist, which will move to Blasted Heath. That's a problem because it's near a vortex now. The Ghost is a Crescent, but it's yellow bordered monster, so it's not going to move. It's going to stay at Gardener's Place. The Ghoul and the Hound of Tinderloss, they don't move. I think it's pluses is the only other. Yeah, pluses move on black. We haven't got any plus monsters. So that's monster movement. And let's read, it's a headline. Slum murders continue. An old basement is opened, releasing 2 monsters into the East Town streets. Ah! Except they're not going to be released into the East Town streets. We're already at our monster limit. So these guys are going to the outskirts. Let's pick some horrendous ones, please. Right. The first one is a ghost. Good. Because I don't like ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts, but I don't like them. Next is... ooh, a rat thing. I don't like them either. So, both of those go into the outskirts, so that's pretty good news. But it does mean as soon as we get to overflow, as usual, the terror track will go up, we'll lose an ally, and we do get nearer to having to shut the general store, so we might have to get all our shopping and stuff done pretty sharpish. So that's it for this Mythos phase. Right, how did that go? I think it went rather excellently, don't you? We've got rid of the Gug. We got rid of it anyway by shutting the gate, but it meant we were able to do a bit of shopping. Unfortunately, we had to settle for a Molotov cocktail, but it's better than a slap across the belly with a wet kipper. It'll have to do. We managed to shut a gate. Good old Agnes. So that's cool. Monty will be ready to shut a gate next turn. He's got a buyer key here, which he won't have to deal with next turn, but he will have to deal with eventually. It's only a -1 will check, and yeah, it's quite easy. I'd preferred him to be able to kick the maniac's ass, but this'll do. I think he'll be able to manage that the turn after he shuts the gate, and shut the gate he will, because he does have an elder sign. The good thing as well is this gate that he's bound to shut next turn, it's a square gate. Yeah. So not only will we lose a doom token off Yog-Sothoth, we'll get rid of square monsters. We just pulled a Hound of Tindalos, so that'll be going bye-bye. Have we got any other square monsters? Checks the outskirts. Unfortunately not, but to get rid of the Hound of Tindalos is pretty cool. What else? Yeah, so that seemed to go pretty good. So after discussing Monterey there, obviously that's what he's going to do next turn. Daisy, I think she'll head down to the Historical Society. Let's pick those 3 clues up before they go bye-bye. That'll put her on something like 10 clues, which will be really useful. Hopefully she'll be able to get into the woods then. The skeleton and the cultist in the uptown streets, they're nothing. Daisy's like a one-woman army, man. So should be able to get rid of her, rid of those babies. Will, he's going to stay in the general store as mentioned, have another shop, hopefully be able to get something. We just need one weapon really, one good weapon. And Daisy, not Daisy, Agnes. Yeah, Agnes has got that Dark Young, but I think during the upkeep phase now, Daisy can cast Greater Banishment, and that's what she's going to do. She's going to try and get rid of those hexagon monsters. There are 3 now, because we pulled the ghoul out, so we could get rid of the ghoul, the goat spawn, and we could get rid of the Dark Young. And if I remember my Glass of Mortland, that is +2. So we should have a really good chance of getting rid of 3 monsters next turn. So in fact, we've had a fantastic turn. A really, really good turn this turn. If we can keep it going next turn, that'll be really funky. We'll have 2 sealed gates then. I always like getting 2 sealed gates. Even if we get beat, I always feel like, you know, we haven't done too badly sealing 2. So, and that's looking odds on. So, cool. Right, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the subscriptions, all the comments, all the views, all the tips. Very much appreciated, as always. Thank you very much. And that is it for Arkham Horror, the Dunwich Horror, turn 10. I hope you join me for turn 11. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.